my daughter turned 2 this week, Lane,
Yes.
which by the time they're watching this, she will have been 2 for a little while.
Yeah.
But she arrived to 2 the morning of her birthday and had the biggest meltdown of her life. Tantrum that I've never seen. Bigger than I recall my other 2 kids having tantrums. And Sean and I could not help but laugh because we're like, wow, she understood the assignment here. She knew I am 2 and I'm going to go hard. I actually felt so thankful for you because so she turned 2 on Monday. It's now Thursday. And these tantrums have happened every day.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't really know how to handle this. And then I thought, good thing I'm hanging out with Lane every single week because I at least have some things to say. So I told Sean, like, no, you're a sea cliff. She's a wave. And he's looking at her like, wow, that's a wave.
This is a big wave. He's like, I'm not a surfer. You know, a skateboard is not a surfboard.
Right. No. Yeah, it's a lot even for him. But what I also learned is that there is a 2-year-old sleep regression.
Oh, sure.
And so her sleep has been really bad. She's been up crying at night. And then obviously she's miserable during the day. And last night was the first night she slept through the night again. And then today she hasn't had her major tantrums.
Okay.
She's definitely pushing back in a way that is big and bold and beautiful like her.
Yeah.
But I'm here. So now I've got 2 toddlers. And I'm just going to be, whenever we talk about toddler stuff, I'm no expert. I am just listening to you as my mentor friend to know how to navigate this because wow, even yesterday I directly said, good thing Lane is crazy about 2-year-olds because there may be a moment when we call her in for some reinforcement.
Sure.
Because wow, this girl.
I'm working my way in slowly with Jules.
Oh yeah.
There are so many adults in her life that
So
want
true.
her attention.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
She's very sought after.
She's a little bit withholding, which
She's a bit
everybody
independent.
likes
Yeah.
in a 2-year-old.
That's true. That's
Everyone's
true.
like, what? Don't you want? Wait,
Yeah.
but and she's like, maybe.
Yeah, she's learned there's some power in that. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
People draw near with gifts and treats.
So I'm trying to do it back to her a little bit.
Oh, that's good. I think that'll work.
Yeah, I am curious about what her tantrum triggers have been because sometimes it's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, they're everything. So it's like I got her dressed in clothes, which I've actually been doing most of her life. There
Yeah.
are plenty of days she's naked at home, but like, we're leaving the house now, sweet Julesy. You're putting on an outfit. Do you want this one or this one? The answer is none of them. And it is the meltdown that like you throw your back, you're down on the ground. I go to pick her up. She slides out. I go and put her in her room. I'm like, we're going to sit together and take some deep breaths, honey. And she's like, "Wah," like a sound that, I mean, my other 2 kids have tantrums too, but this is, she's good at it.
She's
She's
taking
thriving.
really deep.
Yeah. But here's what I was going to tell you. So Jules was a preemie baby. She was born 6 weeks early. And people have told me like, around her 2nd birthday, you should be able to know if she's developing properly or if she's a little bit behind. So I did think the fact that the morning of her 2nd birthday, she threw a tantrum so big that anyone who saw it was like, oh, terrible twos. I'm like, she's caught up.
She's here.
We
She's
made
arrived.
it.
She's letting us know. She's just bursting through the barricade.
Yes,
like,
that's
I'm
her.
sorry. Who's behind?
Yeah.
I'm Juliet.
Not I. Exactly. So that's where I am this week. I'm coming out. Even like the calls I led in the Very Good Mothers Club community, I had to call in for someone else to lead them because she kept having tantrums right before it. So I would just be on the call, but basically need some time to decompress and be like, okay, how do I come back from that moment? And there's one thing to go from that to like, all right, we made it through. That's all. We just live this next moment.
She's mostly dressed.
Yeah. But then to be like, hey, moms, welcome to the call.
Welcome to the Happy Mother.
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
The Happier Mother check-in call. And I'm like, I retired. I'm all done. But
I'm out of the Happier Mother game.
Maybe that's the beauty of this place. If you ever want to join our community, we are not promising to be expert mothers. I said that from the beginning of starting our business. I'm not an expert when it comes to this stuff, but we try hard.
Yeah.
And if you are moms who try, then we're your people. And if you're tired, join us because we all are. I'm Jessica Hover.
I'm Lane Dealing-Cherland, and this is Very Good Enough, a podcast from Very Good Mothers Club.
And we're so glad you're here.
Because it's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas. You did it. You did the Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. I hope it was
behind
great.
you. I hope it was great too. I hope it was great too. What do you hope yours looked like?
We're filming this beforehand or recording this beforehand. I don't actually even know where I'm going to be, but I hope that we all laughed a lot. I usually hope that there's a lot of laughter in my life. In fact, whenever I tell the kids stories, I always end it with, and we all burst out laughing. Have I told you? I probably told you that. It's like a Peppa Pig episode. If you ever watch Peppa, they always end every episode with everyone laughing. And that's a little bit my heart, is I just like it when people are laughing. So whatever we do, I hope that all of us laughed, because that's a really good feeling.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
I love that. Yeah. I hope my pies turn out.
Expectation.
I hope my meringue is tall.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how to cook. I don't really know how to cook or bake. So that's why I just go with the laughter and hope that I'm friends with someone who makes pies.
That's perfect. I have a grandfather who's very impressed by a lemon meringue pie.
Whoa. Will you be with him?
I think so. That's a good question. I don't know where I'm going either.
Okay.
I come from like quite a large family.
Okay.
Just a lot. And all the parents have lots of siblings, and all those siblings have so many babies. And then all my cousins also have so many babies.
Wow.
So my grandfather has a lot of granddaughters.
Yeah.
And has continuously told each of us that we're the favorite for our whole entire lives.
Wow.
He started out giving everybody Disney princess nicknames, but then it got to be more granddaughters than he knew princesses.
Yes.
And so we doubled.
Oh man.
We just doubled up.
Can I guess your princess name?
Sure.
Are you Belle?
I'm not, but I should have been. I don't think he knew about that.
Who are you?
Tiger Lily from Peter Pan.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cute?
That is so cute.
I love Peter Pan.
Okay.
And that's
probably
a really
good one.
It was a good one.
Okay.
But also so is my cousin Jennifer. So.
Oh, well, hopefully she's great too.
She's also great.
Okay.
Also great. But in adulthood,
Yeah.
I don't have any babies, and he's like pretty mystified about it.
Oh, so
I'm
you
like,
bring a pie.
I'm like a little bit of a coastal elite, and got married at the ripe old age of 25 and don't have any babies.
Okay.
And I left. So I had a lot to sort of catch up on.
Yes.
But so I bring him peach ice cream, and I make him lemon meringue pies.
Okay.
And he's pretty charmed by that.
Oh, that's good. Sean has a grandmother who has passed away now, but at the end of her life, she's actually like fantastic and was so fun to be around. She had some memory trouble. And before having kids, I was given the job of like hanging out with her for a little while maybe Thanksgiving food was being made.
Sure.
And she was so cute. And she would be like, so whose wife are you again? And I'd be like, I'm Sean's, your grandson. And she'd be like, do you have any kids? And I would say no, because I didn't at the time. And her answer each time would change. So it would be like, do you have any kids? And I would say no. And she'd say, you've got time. And then literally moments later, we would begin the conversation again.
Sure.
And then she'd say, so do you have any kids? And I'd say, no, Graham. And she'd say, well, you really need to get to it. And everything was like consistently more like, well, don't take your time.
Yeah, gosh, that's so revealing as like what we're really like inside.
But the amazing thing about her is she really was amazing, because even as it just kind of got worse memory-wise, she was so fun and funny. And, you know, you do end up seeing people who get quite elderly and then all of a sudden they're really grumpy and you realize they spent a lot of time filtering. Yeah. She didn't. She was just so fun. We gave her a tin of cookies and she would be sitting chatting with us and then be like, oh, what's this? And she'd open it up. She'd be, my favorite. And she'd take a bite and then close it. And then we'd keep chatting. And then she'd be like, oh, what's this? And she'd open it, my favorite. Like, this is so fun. Yeah, she was great.
Oh, how beautiful.
I aspire to be this way as I age. Hopefully my memory can stay intact. But if not, I hope to be.
Yeah,
I
hope
joyful.
that whatever is just coming out without my ability to filter it is
positive,
really pleasant for people to be around.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good aspiration. So today's topic is expectations surrounding holidays. Yeah. Right? We both felt like this is, I mean, we talked to you already a bit about this before Thanksgiving, but just holidays are kind of a tender time. They're sometimes sensitive. We have a tendency to have high expectations and be let down, or just not be aware of our expectations and then feel disappointed, but we don't really know why, because we never took the time to think through like, what do we want?
Yeah.
And then why does this feel so bad?
Yeah. We also have a lot of like pictures and stories and ideas in our mind as adults of either like how great it's going to be and what we want to happen and how our kids are going to be so excited about this part.
Yeah.
Or like it's really actually really stressful and this is kind of hard for me and I'm like really doing my best and holding it together. And none of those stories get actually passed down to these children who don't know what you were excited about or don't know that actually it's like kind of a tricky day for you and you're like really doing your best and your best might be medium.
Yeah.
You know,
so real.
Yeah. Yeah. My best is definitely like a moving threshold.
Yes.
Day to day. So yeah, wanting to think about like, if you can in the lead up now, think about how do I want this to go? How are these things? Tell a really good story that is reasonable to yourself, and then also tell that story to your children, tell it to your family, and be able to sort of like decide a little bit more, like where you can, what it's going to be like.
Yeah. How do you want this time to go? Right? Okay. How does that work? Take us there. I will say this to start off. I am coming out of several years of feeling like I was in a fog during the holidays. And I think it's that I did the baby stage back to back. And so when the holidays were here, I would really hope they would be amazing, but I felt like I didn't have the capacity to be amazing. It would be sort of miraculous when things would go well, and I would really hope that other people in my life would step up the holiday game so that I could just, feed the baby and hope the baby would sleep. And so to you who are listening, who maybe feel some pressure because now that we have kids, it's like we're responsible for their memories and their traditions. I mean, these are things I thought is like, oh my gosh, I have limited time, limited Christmases with these kids, and they're going to look back and I'm going to be responsible for how this all feels to them. That's a lot of pressure, especially when you have very young kids and you're barely sleeping or like hardly feel like yourself because you've undergone this huge transition of having a child. So I would just say, release the pressure on yourself. It's cool for me now having 2 toddlers. I feel like I can actually make some special memories and I can think for myself about what do I want this to look like and what would be a cute tradition for them. Social media is a little bit weird. So you might be feeling like you're barely getting by. You're living off of fumes, just barely making it. And then you get on Instagram and you see that some other mom who had a baby or maybe triplets is like also pulling off Elf on the Shelf, and they go to every tree lighting and
Crafts.
they're crafts galore. Maybe mute everybody who makes you feel like you're not doing enough, because if your baby is alive and well and you are keeping it fed, like, well done, that's a milestone worth celebrating. And eventually you're going to feel ready to tap into whatever holiday memories feel special for you. And if this isn't your year, then let's ask some loved ones for help. Maybe,
Absolutely.
Friend, dad, sister, mother, anybody. Ask them if they can tap in to make some memories for you guys.
I love that. I love the idea of a nice evening holiday mute on just everybody who you follow as sort of like an aspiration or out of obligation, just being like, first off, let's start by clearing out everybody else's stories about how this or the stories that I'm telling when I see these things.
If you're not able to be inspired by them, if you're not feeling like you're connecting to even their celebration, sometimes there's people in my life that I love and I'm like, I'm really happy they're doing so great. And I don't think I can see it right now. I'm feeling pretty weak. I still want to get on there, but I just don't want to see everybody living their highlights when I'm feeling a little low. Not enough to unfollow, but just enough to mute for a few days.
You can mute and unmute at will. No one will ever know. There's no limit. You can mute them today. You can unmute them tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah, I like that. Just a nice little New Year's unmute when it's all behind you.
That's real. That's a good idea.
I'm into that. I'm really into that. Yeah, my first little note is about just like the idea of setting the stage. And I feel like that's a good first one, actually. Like, first, let's just clear this stage so that we know, actually, these holidays haven't happened yet. All my images, all my stories, all my thoughts about them, those aren't real yet. I still live now, here, today. So this is actually just like a clear stage that's ahead of me. It's future days. And right now, me gets to take some time, even if it's just a quick little second, and do a little check-in. Like what do I want to happen? What will I say yes to and what will I say no to this Christmas?
That's
like,
good.
what will I allow to come in and what will I block from coming in? We just did like 2 episodes ago was boundaries in the lead up to Thanksgiving, and that's worth a little listen in thinking about Christmas as well, just that same kind of deal. After thinking about boundaries, I was then thinking about desire. And desire is an interesting one for me as a person because my background had this interesting element of not really trusting your own insides. Like maybe there's a sort of like fundamental darkness to your insides. So you have to like go outside of yourself to find out what's good and find out where you should face.
Yeah.
And so I've never really checked in with myself. Like what do I want seems first off irrelevant.
Sure.
And then like probably bad.
Yeah.
Is sort of the like way that like religious training happened for me as a young person.
Sure.
And now
I don't think that's uncommon. I think a lot of people would say the question of what do you want brings up something of like, am I even allowed to ask what I want? How dare I ask what I want? Either what I want is bad, or why would I ask what I want when there's a room full of people here? Shouldn't I ask what they want? I would probably say, yeah, you can do both. What do you want? What do they want?
Ooh, the idea of you can do both is new.
Sure.
That's so new for me. And this has happened very recently, like in the last month or so. I had this sort of crashing realization of like, oh my gosh, I don't even ask. I have no idea what I want because my desire has felt not important and then be probably kind of threatening. So now I've been in this super cool practice where I'm like way going overboard, being like, I don't know, what do you want for breakfast? Like, do you want to go on a walk or do you want to go on a whatever? Really just like really trying to hone in on like, what does it feel like when I desire something? So however that feels for you, it feels revolutionary for me. And I would just encourage everyone to take a moment, even just before you're falling asleep. Sometimes your like underlying self can come to the surface a little bit more then, and ask like, what do I want Christmas to look like? What do I want this year? Yeah. And like really feel free to just dream about it for a second.
That's so cool.
And some of those things without kind of trimming the wings of the dream too, without like trying to keep it within the parameters of what you can have.
Sure.
Like just take a moment to like hear the desire of your own heart and breathe it in and
That's
synthesize
really
like,
sweet.
this is what I love about Christmas. This is what makes me feel joyful. This is who it would feel nice to be near, or just these sights to see. I want it to look green, or I want to see this person's face, or I want it to be
I want
so
my home to feel like this. Yeah. Yeah. Twinkly, beautiful.
I want it to smell great, like little and then big. Yeah. Just start trying to hear your own desire of like, what would be beautiful for you? Because of course you are the person who's curating the early life memories of some other people, and you have a partner to negotiate with, and you have a family that's around you, but also like you are a person living a life. Your experience is as real as all of the other people in your family.
That's beautiful. I love that.
It's worth asking.
Totally. And then you have some vision for what you're trying to do next versus when we don't give ourselves the opportunity to think that stuff through, then sometimes it makes us just feel a bit like in a frenzy. Like, oh, I really think I want this to be special, but I don't know what special means. I don't even know what it looks like. And so you're kind of frantically putting your energy everywhere versus I know how I want this to feel. And then I know what I'm capable of right now within this stage of life, within these resources that I have. Yeah. How can I do that?
Yeah. And then I would use that to start telling yourself a really good story. Like I would find some words to wrap around that experience for yourself.
And when you say tell a story, are you meaning like put words to your feelings, or are you meaning like tell a story that you will try and live into? Is it like you're telling sort of a visionary story?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, so for myself this year, I have a brand new nephew and I'm very, very excited.
So we just looked at pictures of him. He has incredible hair.
Yeah. And he's like 2 seconds old and insisting on almost standing up. And I just want to push him down all the time so he stays so little. But I don't.
She was like, he's so cute. I want to eat him in soup. That's so specific.
Yeah. Just want to cook him in a little stew. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to just like being a witness at Lincoln's first Christmas. Oh, what's going to happen to me this year? I'm going to witness Lincoln's first Christmas.
That's so
How
sweet.
Special is that? I would say, what's the part that feels really important to you? Is when you like envision, when you close your eyes and you're like, I want it to be super Christmassy. Is it that it's very twinkly? Is it that it smells a certain way? Is it that there is a physical tree? Like what's the I mean, what's the minimum that
what do you
actually
need in order-
accomplishes
okay,
that
that's
feeling
good.
for you? And then that's part of your story of like, oh, as long as I make sure that I have these couple of things that are in my control, I'm going to be where Lincoln is, I'm going to snuggle Connor, I can absolutely make sure that at some point this Christmas season, I smell Christmas trees,
Oh yeah.
right? Like these
Yeah.
are some simple things that I can actually then rest on. They're reasonable, they're accomplishable, and that's a good story. What a beautiful story.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to witness this little baby and smell Christmas trees and snuggle Connor.
That's a really cool thing for a mom of a baby who might feel like, I don't know how to think about Christmas. Something really precious is just you witnessing them experiencing Christmas.
Yeah.
And it'll be sweet.
It'll be sweet. Yeah, it'll be super sweet. I actually think this is just like tangential now, but I think like the more joy.
I've never said tangential.
Tangential. I have to think about how to spell it. I have to spell out
I
loud
know.
again.
I always call her out, and then later she's like, I looked it up to make sure I was right.
I've been
usually
relatively right
Yeah,
most of the time. What I can't do is spell out tangent. So it's tangential, like T-I-A-L.
Oh, tangential.
Yeah.
Okay. I see it.
Tangentially, the more joy that you can take out of the tiniest of things, like if you can take that equation and be like maximum joy, smallest thing,
Yes.
like at minimum, your baby is going to look at ornaments. They're going to see lights.
Oh,
If they're big enough to eat food, they're going to taste cinnamon for like the first time. Like these are,
It's
whoa,
big.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
but
really
also
cool.
those are not big things.
That's
That's
really
ornaments
cool.
and someone
No.
else is putting up Christmas lights outside.
Go look
know?
at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be you putting in a lot of effort. And
Yes.
honestly, most of your effort, these people are too little to really notice.
Yeah.
But if you
you're
think
right.
about, if you think about their senses,
Mm-hmm.
like here's the thing. This is my story about Christmas. This Christmas, my children are going to see lights. They're going to see a lot of lights, whether
Yep.
it's inside or outside. However that looks, they're going to like their little eyes will be full of lights and their little nose is going to be full of the smell of whatever.
That's really
They're going
sweet.
to taste this one particular kind of thing. They're going to hear my favorite Christmas song or my favorite Christmas book. What other senses do we
That's
have?
beautiful.
That was only 4.
I know. Feel?
Oh, feel in there. They're
Feel.
going to feel the bristles of
They're
a
gonna
Christmas
feel
tree.
the
They're going
tree.
to feel
Yeah.
the tearing of paper.
they are.
Your baby wants to tear paper.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be
More
a good
than
time.
anything. They want to suck on a
Yeah.
bow. And they
No,
want to
we
tear
actually, for the
paper.
first Christmas that we had as parents, we were like, you know what? Our daughter is probably going to get a lot of gifts from people. So what we'll do is we'll just take a water bottle and fill it with beans and wrap it in paper. And that's the only gift we got her. And it was a hit.
Perfect.
She loved it.
That is perfect.
And it lived in our house until she grew past it. And then we felt fine about being all done with it. But yeah, we were like pretty, it was all about affordability. Can you say affordability?
You sure can.
Okay. Saying that. And then just realizing that a lot of people were probably going to give her stuff that just fills a house. It's amazing how fast that happens. For the sake of time, because I just like talking to you. So sometimes I feel like I'm just talking and forget that we are here with these people who have lives. Okay. On behalf of myself and others who have children that are old enough to understand the holidays, how much do we involve them? And like, I don't know, am I responsible to make it special for them? Is there like a collaborating that happens?
I think that there's like a very important role for communication and collaboration with children in sort of like, we'll stick with like the story that you're telling about this holiday. Christmas especially, because like strangers on the street are going to be like, what do you want for Christmas,
so
little
true.
boy? Like there's just like so much. That sounded very creepy when I said it, but like they'll do it in a joke. Little boy. that person's going to steal your baby.
Yeah.
And you're
So
in a
stay
cartoon.
away from those people.
Sorry, but somehow you've been caught in a cartoon and that person's going to scoop them up in a rucksack. But in real regular non-cartoon life.
Yes. That's also true. People
yeah.
do say that.
People do say that, and there's all this like hype and all these words around it.
It's not even Halloween yet here, and Target is already Christmassy.
Costco
So
too.
already the kids in my house are talking about Christmas. Wow. And Wilson said, I don't want Santa Claus to come here. We're like, really? It's like, I don't want anybody else to come here. And then I realized, because Santa is just a strange man.
He's an intruder.
You're the only one of the 3 kids who has pointed that out so far. Eloise is totally comfortable with it.
I appreciate that about Wilson. You should be
So he's
discerning
already
about who
been
gets to
like,
come into your
We
house.
will not allow Santa in.
Well, it's good boundaries.
Yeah, which is interesting.
That's
A
amazing.
secret you can know is that I believed in Santa until I still sort of do. So I was one of those kids. So to have a son who's at the ripe old age of 3 being like, not in my house. I'm like, oh, dang it.
Wow.
Well, for Eloise, he'll come.
Eloise and I lost that one for you and Eloise. Yeah. Santa is coming into the house. He just won't leave you any presents. Yeah. Do you like that better?
Yeah, exactly. That's probably what Eloise will say.
That's so good. But that's such a good example of like, we have no idea what they actually think it's going to be like. They're just intaking. There's stuff from movies, and some movies are claymation, and some movies are people. And what do they think, right? Like, it's all weird.
Yeah.
And it's just like a big old swirl inside. So getting to know from them, like, I would check with yourself, you the adult, what do I want for Christmas? And then spend some time talking with your kids. What do you think it's going to be like? What do you think would be fun about Christmas? What do you know about Christmas?
Yeah.
And then you can work together on like, oh, that's interesting. That one, I don't know if I could pull that off this year, but you know what I could do is we could definitely, this other thing that you like, I can make absolutely sure that happens. What color do you want that to be?
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. I have a friend that I grew up with, and her family did not do gifts at Christmas. They did travel. So each child got a book, and then they would get something that had to do with their like trip, like a bag or something.
Yeah.
I guess actually now as a parent, I realized that's a gift. But as kids, we were like, they got no gifts, just a book and a bag and a trip to Tahiti. Nothing.
Which, like, 2 different children, or a child who's been gifted a really good story around that, and a child who just has that information. Like, those 2 children will experience that so differently.
Look at this. This is beautiful. Yeah.
But so for you to wrap the context around what's going to happen.
Set the narrative in your house around this time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. So my answer is a lot. I think there's a lot of collaboration that can happen. And then once you all have like the clear story that's being told, not saying that your children are going to just like get all the way on board necessarily, but you've like set this expectation, then you can really arrive in the now and like put the full force of your joy and celebration behind the thing that you've decided on.
Yeah. Something I love about the holidays that you're making me think, and I just think it's worth saying, is it's a really special time to let life be magical. Like, life is hard and we face a lot of stuff. And especially as you're raising your kids or managing your finances or figuring out your relationships, it's just hard. And I think it's so special how at Christmas time things just light up and people are connected, and ideally we're around loved ones. And so if we can release the pressure and do this storytelling bit of like, how can I receive the magic that's available to me and my family at Christmas time? Because kids experiencing the holiday, it is magical. If you watch the holidays through them, it is magical. It's absolutely like twinkly, sparkly, whimsical. There's imagination. I have one child who throws ornaments. It's adventurous. I have another child who's obsessed with hanging ornaments. So every day there would be more ornaments on the tree because we had this like extra stash of ornaments, and she would just keep finding them and adding them.
Fun.
And there's certain things that like when it's just us in our grown-up worlds, we don't always easily tap into the wonder that life is. We just get into the seriousness of what it is. But holiday times are a great opportunity to look for magic, to create magic, to enjoy what's there. And you saying like use your children's senses to help navigate how you do it. Even for ourselves, like what would make our space smell good? What would make our space look good, feel good? All of that, I think it's so practical and doesn't have to cost a lot of money and doesn't have to cost even a lot of energy, but can be a really special thing when life is just, sometimes heavy.
Yeah. You know what I do that's free?
What's that?
I take out my contacts to look at Christmas lights.
Are you serious?
Because my
That's
eyesight
so
is
cute,
really
so then
bad,
they're blurry.
and then they're big sparkly stars.
Oh my gosh. I have never thought to do that. But okay, how blind are you?
Only a little bit, just enough.
Okay, like what's your prescription? We're really going with this.
That's a super good question. I don't know. I have an astigmatism in one eye, so my depth perception is really bad, and it makes it just makes all the lights get like an actual little star around them.
So cute. My eyes, so it's like -5.5, which basically just means I can't see a thing. Like if my glasses are here and they fall down there, I am crawling around like a blind mouse looking for them. Yeah, but I have never considered taking out my contacts to look at Christmas lights. I can't tell if it would be magical or if just like disorienting.
Nothing.
Like, I don't know where I am.
We'll have to do an experiment.
Yeah, I'm hoping that one day I get surgery that makes my eyes 20/20. I don't know. Maybe I'm not hoping that. I can't really tell. I also sometimes hope for a boob job since we're here, but I also might never do that.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just hope for stuff. It's
Christmas
the
is a
magic of
hopeful
life.
Whether you're
Sorry, I
hoping
took
for
that in a different
sparkly
direction.
lights or a boob job this Christmas.
Whatever you want. It might be available to you. It might not.
Just find what you can have. Maybe it's like
Yeah.
a nice little push-up bra.
True. Yeah, those are much cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Anyways, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you guys. It's fun becoming friends with you. Thanks for being here. We really believe in you, and we really appreciate that you're here. Also, for those of you guys who leave comments, it helps us a lot. It really helps direct the way we do this, conversations we have.
Absolutely.
So feel free to give feedback if you love something, if you're laughing at something, if you're struck by something, let us know. I completely forgot that this is relevant to you, but if you need gifts for your loved ones, we have them at our little shop, verygoodmothersclub.com. We have gifts for mom, gifts for dad, gifts for the little ones, really cool apparel that we are so excited for you to have. So if you need a gift, please go get them. I will probably be there packing orders for you. So you'll get an order sent with a lot of love. And if you want to join our community, especially during the holidays, if you're feeling like you need friendship or you just need a place to come and like vent and talk about what's going on or be encouraged or laugh, hang out with Lane.
Yeah.
We have a community and we'd love for you to be a part of it. It is through Very Good Mothers Club. The URL is quite long and I apologize, but it's verygoodmothersclubhouse.com. We thought it'd be cute and catchy because it's like the clubhouse because we're a club. And then we realized it's very long. So if you can't remember all of this stuff, through our Instagram, all of the links are listed there, and our website should be easy to navigate, but we're getting it redone. So I don't know where this all falls in this podcast, but we have everything you need, and we would love to be a support to you this holiday season. So thank you for being here, and
We're easy to find.
we're easy to find. Okay, bye you guys.
Bye, you guys.